Hello everyone, I am your dentist. Welcome back to Dentist to Be. Today we are going to learn how to carve mandibular lateral incisor, which is a right one, and we also discuss the major points that can be used to differentiate between the mandibular right central incisor and lateral incisor. Let's get into the video. Here you can see a nice wax block with nice midlines and the marked crown and root lengths. The length of the crown is about 9.5 mm and the length of the root is 14.0 mm. The anatomy of the crown is almost similar to the right central incisor. Here you can see the labiolingual dimensions of the crown. You have to mark the labiolingual dimensions on the proximal surface of your wax block. And here are the mesodistal dimensions of the crown, and these should be marked on the labial surface of your crown. Here I am going to mark the outlines of your crown, both proximal surface and the labial surface. And carving of the crown is almost similar to the mandibular central incisor, so I am skipping that video. Now I will show you the carving specific for the lateral incisor. Here you can see the crown is looking like it is tilted distally. Keep this point in your mind. Because of the distal tilt, when we are looking from the mesial aspect, we can appreciate little bit of the distal aspect of your tooth. Here you can see our crown structure of the right mandibular lateral incisor. In order to get the distal tilt, as we have seen in the previous picture, we have to carve mesial half of the lingual surface, and we have to reduce the mesial half of the lingual surface, and we also have to reduce the distal half of the labial surface. When you look at the incisor aspect, the disto-incisor line angle is rounded than the mesio-incisor line angle. And we will have a lingual fossa on the marginal ridges, which are less prominent than the central incisor. Here you can see the lingual aspect of our crown. Now we will go with the carving of our root. The root is almost similar to the mandibular central incisor, but the main difference is the crown looks like it is tilted on the base of root. Draw the outline of the root on your wax block and deepen the markings of the length of the root so that you will not extend the length of your root. Now continue with the carving of your root. Keep in mind that the outline of the root should be inside or it should be coincide with the outline of your crown. It should not be wider than your crown or not very much narrower than your crown. Our root has a distal tilt at the apical 1/3 of our root. So in order to get that distal tilt at the apical 1/3, I am removing the wax on the mesial aspect of the apical 1/3 and I am leaving extra wax on the distal aspect of the apical 1/3. And this is our final carving of mandibular right lateral incisor. Mesially, the contact point of mandibular lateral incisor is located at the incisal 1/3, but it is more incisal. Whereas the contact point on the distal surface is also located at the incisal 1/3, but it is more cervical. Here we can see the mandibular right central incisor, which is bilaterally symmetrical, whereas the lateral incisor is not bilaterally symmetrical in both the labial and lingual aspects also. Second point to differentiate both of them from the labial aspect is the incisal edge. The mesio and disto-incisal line angles of central incisor are sharp, whereas the disto-incisal line angle of the lateral incisor is rounded. When you see the lingual aspect of the central and lateral incisors, the central incisor has the prominent lingual fossa and the marginal ridges, whereas the lateral incisor has less prominent fossa and marginal ridges. Here we can also appreciate both the roots are distally tilted at the apical 1/3. When we have a look from the mesial aspect, both the crowns have more prominent cervical curvature on their mesial aspect. But one specific point for the lateral incisor is the crown is distolingually tilted, so that when we view from the mesial aspect, we can see the little bit of the distal aspect of the crown also. This is the distal aspect. We have less prominent cervical curvature on the distal aspect on both the crowns. And finally, this is our incisal view. Here you can observe our cingulum is slightly deviated from the midline. It is offset from the midline and deviates to the distal aspect. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, do like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe Dentist to Be. Have a nice day.